10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the mid-season review. There is a link at the top of the chat if any of you fancy coming on and not being camera shy. Come and have your say. That is the link to become a member, 99p a month. This is the link to get on the stream. Anyone can come on and have a chat. It's open to anyone. We'll just jump in the comments very quickly. So can't make tonight, but we'll catch up tomorrow. My members prize draw was delivered today. Get yourselves joined up as members. Could be you winning the shirt next. So yeah, so on the 7th of January, for all members who pay 99p or more a month, are in the draw to win a Newcastle shirt. Now Lee chose one of the limited edition ones, and that's why it's just turned up. I'm still waiting for mine. I ordered it a month before his. And he's got his first. I can't believe it. I'm absolutely devastated. I want my top. But he's got his, which is absolutely fantastic. I'd rather he got his first anyway, because that's, it's another prize delivered. All these people who say all these fake draws are done and all these fake raffles are being done and all this sort of crap, in your face, once again, prize draws turned up. And all the badges have turned up. Even though, says Leslie, even everyone says, Mark, get yourself on. Steve, get yourself on. Evening all. Now, where were we? Back into here. So, False 9 company almost live. These are the hoodies that they're going to be selling. So, yeah. So, we'll be absolutely buzzing to get our own added to the top as well. I can't wait to do that with them. They're a great company, great set of lads who are starting out fresh, trying to make a name for themselves in the clothing industry. So we wish them all the best. The raffle is still live. Alan Shearer's testimonial shirt will turn up to somebody. Kevin Keegan shirts will turn up to somebody. 5 powder coated badges will turn up to somebody. Free prints of Kevin Keegan. And I've also hopefully got my hands on a St. Maximum signed photograph for you as well. That's framed, and that will go into the prize draw as well. Evening, Joe. Thanks for joining us. So where do we want to start tonight? What I would like to know in the chat, or someone would like to come on and discuss it, what is your most memorable game so far from the season? Could be home, could be away, but what's your favourite game so far? Even Maz just watched on UFC TV, release of Sven Botman making defending look easy. I've never had such faith in the Toon back line in my life. Only 37 days to the Leicester game. Counting down the minutes, aren't we? Don't forget, we've got Bournemouth in the Cup. I'm trying to get tickets for that, so fingers crossed. But then it's Leicester back in the Premier League on Boxing Day, which we really can't wait for. But what I'd like to know is the game that you have enjoyed the most so far this season. What's the one that really got you purring for whatever reason? Come and tell me either in the chat or face-to-face. Come on, come and join the show if you want to. It's entirely up to yourselves. The option is there. In the meantime, we'll just go over some stuff that we mentioned. Miggy, Trippier and Dan Burn are all going to be getting new contracts. They've only got 2 years left, I think it is, or a year and a half left running on their current contracts. And Newcastle want to tie them down as quickly as possible to fend off anyone who tries to steal our players. We obviously don't want that to happen. And yeah, I mean, there's no more deserving than the 3 players on the screen for a contract. Trippier has just been absolutely outstanding. He's a leader, he's a captain. He's just he's the all-round nice guy. He understands what other people do. He's absolutely fantastic. Dan Burn, what a man mountain he's been. Stepping in at left back, made that his own spot. So Target is really struggling to get back in the team. And when he had to called upon, he went into centre back for the final 10 minutes, I think it was, of the last game, and against Chelsea, and he didn't look out of place at all, put in that monster tackle, and again deserves a contract, doesn't he? And then finally, Miggy Almiron has just been unbelievable this season. He's the top scorer in midfielder. What more can you ask? Everyone was criticising him. So absolutely unreal. Miggy's been. So I got distracted by an email that's just been sent. Quite an important one, but that can wait till after the show. So favourite games. Just rewatched the Bobby Robson film. Alan Shearer comments on Bobby could have taken Newcastle from the bottom of the Prem to the Champions League. I think Eddie can match that. Yeah, obviously Eddie came in when we were almost halfway through the season. Bobby came in after a few games. We looked absolutely at sea. We just got beat off Sunderland 2-1. I remember that game very well. Kieran Dyer scored. Shearer and Rob Lee didn't even have a squad number. Shearer was on the bench. Duncan Ferguson was on the bench. And Ruud Gullit blamed them for coming on and losing the game, apparently. And that sparked, obviously, his demise. And then Sir Bobby Robson walks in through the door. What happens? He talks to Alan Shearer. He says, this is what I want you to be doing. You shouldn't be doing this. Stop having your back to goal. Start running towards it. And Bob's your uncle. We beat Sheffield Wednesday 8-0 and Alan Shearer scores 5. Absolutely superb. I mean, can you imagine if Eddie Howe had an Alan Shearer to call upon? I mean, this team would be absolutely unstoppable if that was the case. Steve says, favourite game was Liverpool and City. Playing like we did against two teams like that showed how far we have come from last season and shows where we are heading. Yeah, City, definitely, because of we've got a point. Liverpool, yes, we played really well, but we got beaten. It left a bitter taste in my mouth on how we got beat. The whole controversy of the offside, the whole time wasting apparently, then the whole time added on that shouldn't have been added on, and then when they scored that goal in the final dying minutes and what with his teeth everywhere. Yeah, I didn't really like it that much. But I understand what you're coming out with, because I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, I understand that the performance was superb, but it just left a bit of taste in my mouth, that game. It really did. But Man City was excellent. I was there. I got to see us score 3 goals. Unfortunately, we conceded 2. I was dreaming at 3-1 up. I thought we can do this. But when they scored those 2 early goals, I was like, shit, we're going to lose this. Oh, sorry, guys. 4 hours sleep after night shift, so I'm a little bit tired. For me, it was the Spurs game because we didn't expect to win the way we did, but we bossed them. That's up there. I'm not sure what my favourite game is. That's why I'm asking you guys, to be honest with you. But the Spurs game was fantastic. No one expected us to go there and win. Everyone was thinking a draw, maybe, if we were lucky. And then we ended up winning the game. And we won it quite comfortably, even though they scored. But they were never getting back in it, were they? So an absolute fantastic result. 100%. I like that one. The most satisfying win was the Chelsea win, but not losing to Man U at Old Trafford was so pleasing. As with so many family, supporting them, seeing their players getting irate because they couldn't beat us. And look what's happened since. Ronaldo's come out and done that interview and really shot himself in the foot. It's priceless, isn't it? And no, I wouldn't have Ronaldo at Newcastle. I don't want to start that discussion. He's a pain in the backside. He's proved himself that he's not worthy of a team member. So no, I don't want him anywhere near our squad. Kevin says, evening, Baz, evening, Kevin. Can you say every game we have played amazing this season? Only really Brighton away, we didn't reach our new high standards. What about Bournemouth at home as well? That wasn't exactly the greatest game in the world. We did well to get a point in the end after going 1-0 down, but we never hit our strides in that game either, and it was a bit of a scrappy affair. Palace at home in the cup as well wasn't great with 9 changes. Or was it 8 changes? I can't remember now. It was 8 or 9. And the Palace game at home were never really... I mean, we had a goal disallowed that we should have had, but did we really batter them enough to win that game? Do we create enough clear-cut chances? Brighton, we got away with one there. I think Brighton deserved to win that game on the possession and chances and clear-cut chances. If it wasn't for Nick Pope that day, we wouldn't have got a point out of that game. So, you take the positives out of a 0-0, don't you? And Pope was those positives, and so was the defence. They were absolutely outstanding. Fully agree, Baz. He needs to put out to pasture in the USA, France, Portugal. He can still play in those leagues. He just not for the Premier League, not for me. Newcastle were perhaps a bit complacent in thinking we would funk Bournemouth. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, potentially. They thought maybe we could just turn up and just win this game, but Eddie Howe isn't like that, though, is he? Eddie Howe is, he's methodical in what he does, and he gears everybody up. So I get what you're saying, but you would think Eddie Howe would have them sorted and ready and up for the game, and we just didn't hit our strides properly. And Bournemouth played a very defensive game, made it really hard to beat. And I think we've learned now how to cope with 11 men behind the ball. I think we're starting to learn how to play through them. We've got to be a bit more dangerous passes, taking risks. So yeah. Yes, he has. Sorry, I can't stop you on. I'm so tired. Gary O'Neill has done an absolute brilliant job at Bournemouth. He's got them very hard to beat. They're even scoring goals, to be fair. Very unlucky against Leeds, getting beat 4-3. And then Leeds going and getting beat 4-3 off Spurs the weekend. After the next weekend was crazy. But yeah, he made them hard to beat that day, and we couldn't get through them properly. It's okay. I just come back from work. I had work. Last 2 night shifts. Got home this morning. Bike's broke. Got to take it to Halfords. No power in the battery, so I had to cycle home with a heavy bike with no power. Unbelievable, Jeff. Don't forget, guys, consider becoming a member, because on the 7th of December, we'll be drawing the Newcastle top for one lucky paying member on the 7th of December. So you need to be a member by the 7th, and then we'll do the draw live as we always do. Right, my favourite game. Who am I going to go with? It's got to be Man City, hasn't it? The champions. Everyone thinks they're going to run away with the league this year, even though Arsenal are putting up a massive fight at the moment, and they're actually ahead of them. To really see us set up to have a go at them was absolutely superb. So yeah, by far, easily, probably the best game this season, drawn 3-3 with them. But the other results, like Chelsea, like Spurs, like Fulham, Brentford, they're all up there. But to do that to Man City, a team that are in the Champions League, we're trying to emulate, was just out of this world, to be fair. You stiffen a few yawns, Baz. I'm trying. It's very tiring. Doing night shift and then waking up and then playing with the kids and then wanting to go to bed. But, I'm always here to do shows, and that's what I'm trying to do. I do think Arsenal will edge it in the end. Oh, Kevin, that's a big statement. I'm not sure. It's a really difficult one, isn't it? But again, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about our mid-season review, remember. So while I'm going to go through a few other stuff, Barcelona to fight for most valued Brazilian youngster. Ooh. There's a few things like that going on at the moment with all these young players, isn't there? It's great. My favourite game of the season so far is beating Spurs away. That was a statement win for us. I think Chelsea was more of a statement win. It is a statement win, but I think Chelsea was a huge statement win, to be fair. Can you, in the chat, guys, all the people watching, tell me your favourite goal this season and why so far? And that will be the next topic. In the meantime, we're going to talk about our potential transfers that we're looking at. Apparently, these are the 3 top priority. So the top priority, I mean, a left back isn't really a top priority for me, but it will be in the summer if we don't get anyone in January. But Luke Shaw's been mentioned, and I'm not a massive fan of Luke Shaw to come to Newcastle. I think there could be better out there, but Eddie likes his proven Premier League players. And apparently Luke Shaw's not very happy at Man United. And so this could be the reason why, and he fancies himself playing for Newcastle. So why not? Why not, eh? So Luke Shaw. And then Moussa Diaby, obviously fantastic winger, play on both sides, goals and assists in them all the time. Absolutely superb player. And then you've obviously got James Maddison on the hockey there, who, again, proven Premier League player, wants to come to Newcastle. According to a lot of Leicester sources who are apparently in the know, they're saying the Leicester deal for Maddison is literally done. So it's almost a done thing, as long as Leicester are in a better safety position by the time January comes around. So there's a couple of games in January. And they have improved. They've shot up the table compared to where they were, which they were rock bottom, propping everyone up at one point. But Maddison is apparently almost a done deal. And that's not coming from me or my source or anything like that. That's coming from the Leicester side of things. Evening, Andy. You made it. Links at the top of the chat if anyone wants to come on and come and say hi. It's up to you guys. Has to be the very first goal we scored at the start of the season, Fabian Shaw. Oh, yeah, what a rocket that was against Nottingham Forest. Steve, that was last season, that one, wasn't it? Bruno's back heel from the cross. That against Southampton you're talking about. That's last season. We're talking about this season. Unless I've missed a goal. I can't remember a back heel. I remember the header against Brentford. He scored 2 against Brentford, didn't he? But yeah, so no, I don't think. I think that's if it's the Southampton one, that was last season, mate. So let's try and pick one from this season. Miggy's goal v Everton, it was sublime finish. It was the way he cut in on the right hand side on his left foot and then bent it round the corner. Absolutely superb. 10 years ago, Newcastle were getting a lot of French players. We're getting a lot of French players. Now we seem to be wanting a lot of Brazilians. Neymar Jr. to Newcastle. No, we won't be going anywhere near Neymar. Again, he's not the right player for our club. He's at the wrong age now. We want younger players. We don't want the older generation now. Miggy's volley v Fulham, the way he read that cross to volley it in while dealing with the defender was mint. Yeah, it was flick over the top, wasn't it? It was beautiful. Love the Sky commentator over that Shaw goal. He can hit them. Oh, he can hit them. Yes, he can. ASN v Wolves, enough said. That was a fabulous volley, wasn't it? Because the amount of time he had to wait for it to come down. And that got us a valuable point, didn't it? Evening, Leslie. Thanks for joining us as always. Link to the Shearer and Borough charity link would be great, mate. Yeah, I'll drop that in on Twitter for you, mate, in a private message. Not a problem. I thought you saying no to Neymar Jr. was messing no chance. Yeah, I'd definitely say no to Neymar. Hey, dudes. Hey, Peter. Links at the top of the chat if you want to come on, mate. I stuck at work. Fair enough. Forgot ASM's goal. A lot of us did because Miggy's just been on that run, hasn't he? So ASM's goal was that long ago now. You know, we've been spoiled with the amount of unbelievable goals we've scored this season. So that'll be why. I hope I haven't missed much. No, not really, mate. We're just having a chat about the mid-season review. If you'd like to tell me what your favourite game was, that was the first question. Peter, same to you, mate. And same to you, Andy. And Mark, you've already done yours. What was your favourite Newcastle game? And what was your favourite goal so far this season? That's what we're reviewing. There's no need to apologise, mate. If you're stuck at work, you're stuck at work. It's one of those things. So while we're waiting for some more stuff to come in, I'm just going to jump to a good tweet. So this is the Sportsman, great Twitter profile. Follow them if you can. They're absolutely brilliant. They followed me back. I couldn't believe it. I was well happy with that. There's a number of reasons why NUSC are one of the best teams in the Premier League right now, and Bruno Guimaraes is one of them. And nobody is arguing with them on that one. So Bruno Guimaraes in the Premier League, games played. I can't really read that very well. 29, wins 19, 60% win percentage, 11 goal contributions. You know, duels won, recoveries, unbelievable. Errors leading to goals, zero errors leading to goals. And nobody's going to argue with anyone over Bruno Guimaraes. He's just absolutely superb. He's one of the reasons why he is the most valuable player to me. If he's injured, we struggle a bit, and we really do. Loved how Bruno Ronaldo wasn't the right fit for Newcastle. There we go. You know, I says he wasn't and got hammered by two trolls on Twitter who thought because he scored 1,000 goals that he's still at his peak and he's able to come and do it in Newcastle. It's not true. He's on his way out now. Mickey could have a Bergkamp thing for goal of the month on match of the day, about 3 or 4 goals for 1 month. Would you bet against that? I wouldn't, because he's had 2 already, remember. Bergkamp, he had 3 against Leicester, didn't he, or something like that, because he scored a hat-trick with right foot, left foot, and a free kick, I think it was. Incredible goals. Favourite moment for me thus far, Miggy bending one past Pickford. That was the moment I got that 1996 KK feeling again. It was a great goal, wasn't it? And it just hammered Everton into the ground, didn't it? All that talk about Everton being a decent team and all this sort of stuff, it just went right out the window, didn't it? So, yeah, absolutely superb and a very, very good choice. So, yeah, I'd pay for Cristiano Ronaldo to stay away from Newcastle. There we go. Hope Bruno starts for Brazil v Serbia. Surely is the best option, and Casemiro is too old. Casemiro's still a quality footballer. We can't take that away from him. Look how much Man United have improved since he got there. It's just class. I'm just winding up Steve on Twitter at the moment. I'm just basically mirroring him and do what he does, which really annoys a lot of other people. So I'm trying to annoy him back. It's absolutely brilliant. Anybody else for favourite goal? Anything else to do? My favourite goal so far this season would be so many to choose from. I think Miggy's against Fulham. And the reason being is, like it was mentioned in the chat, the way that he had to shrug off the defender. Again, Willock's goal against Chelsea, the way Miggy absolutely mugged Koulibaly, who's twice the size of him. And I thought he was going to get cleaned out. That was a great goal as well. I mean, it was so spoiled. Shaw's strike, Bruno's strike against Brentford was good as well. Yeah, it's got to be Miggy's goal against Fulham because it was just outrageous. He should have really took it on his right foot because the way he was bending and the way he got the dip on it as well, and the pass from Bruno over the top to actually set it up in the first place was absolutely superb. So, and his goal against Everton was fantastic. Don't get me wrong, he scored some absolute peaches, but I'm going to go with a Fulham goal. That would be my goal of the half season so far. I hope Bruno starts to have done that one. I love Joe goal versus Chelsea was my favourite. I like the curl of the strike. Yeah, I mean, and it was the way Miggy was kind of running and Joe just went, I'll take that off your son, and just absolutely buried it in the top corner. It was beautiful. I like the way Bruno won the ball back against Brentford, drive through midfield and buried it from outside the box. That was I was right behind that as well from the Leazers end. It was mint. And that was just after they scored as well to make it 2-1, which made us a little bit edgy. But then he just took the game by the scruff of the neck again, did what he did, won the ball back. I thought he was going to give away a free kick, to be honest with you, but he didn't. And then he smashed it in the corner. It was absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, top notch that one, mate. Right, so that's goal. Favourite match. Let's go with, I had a lot of these written down, but I can't find a bit of paper what I wanted to do. Favourite player of the season so far. Who deserves the halfway player of the season? So the half season. So get all that in the chat. Who is your best player so far? And while we're doing that, while I'm waiting for the chats to come in, let's have a little look at this. What is the Brazilian coach talking about? Joe Linton has been absolutely superb for Newcastle. He says he hasn't done anything of any note in a team that nearly got relegated, but Bruno was also in that team. So what the hell was he thinking? I just don't get it. Do you know what I mean? This is an absolute outrageous thing to say in my eyes, because absolutely shocking. Hey, hello, Paul.
Hello there.
How's it going?
Sorry,
mate?
I was late. I was stuffing down 2 steak bakes.
Absolutely brilliant. I love it. What do you make of this comment from the Brazil manager?
Oh, he's a bit bonkers. I mean, this was said the other day, and basically he's basing it on last year's performance.
Yeah, but Bruno was there as well, wasn't he? Last year's performance. So I don't get it.
It's bonkers. Mind you, I mean, I've heard of quite a few different people that he doesn't fit into the dynamics of the team.
Yeah, they're saying that Fred gets in front of him, but I don't see that personally myself.
He's crap. I mean,
exactly.
He plays for bloody Manchester United, doesn't he?
He does,
and I've been down to Old Trafford, but it was a very bad day. 5-0 defeat.
Yeah.
My best mate got stood on by a horse that day. One of them police horses. Stood on his foot, and I'm glad it was him and not me.
I bet that hurt as well. Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Not good at all.
No.
So, I mean, Joe Linton for me, he's got to be in the Brazil squad. I don't understand why he's not, to be completely honest with you.
Did he have a reserve? Like backup?
I don't know. I don't know if he is the reserve either, to be honest with you.
Right.
So it's a bit of a.
I mean, he should be, because I mean, he's played his socks off.
He has.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, there's the last game, because all the action at the end was like in the at the Leazer's end. I couldn't say crap because I looked straight through the net.
Yeah.
I was meant to be a little bit higher than the net, the next row behind us, but when we got there, I decided like I was going to try and find the seat first, and
Right.
Lee and Aidan were behind us. And this woman turned around and she says, "Do you mind if I sit in this seat?" She says, "Because I'm with like she was with a partner or something."
Mhm.
And there was a seat straight in front. And it was only when I got into the seat and looked up and I was like, "Oh, I'm in the bloody middle of the net." There was a little camera in front of us, like we know them dash cam things.
Yeah.
And when I pulled my phone out, the glare of the steward, wow, way man.
Yeah, they don't like you recording, do they, if they can avoid
Well,
it?
do you know the thing is though, right? I mean, in the 21st century, which we live in,
Mm.
um, everybody's got mobile phones,
Oh, of course they are.
you know, and you pay, let's be honest here, right? You pay good money to watch a game live. And I mean, I've even noticed this, like, you know, when you go to a rock concert,
Yeah.
they have like signs everywhere turn around and saying about recording.
Mhm.
And yet, if you look at
Everybody
like, say,
records.
why, of course they do.
I'm the same. I went to a George Ezra concert recently and we recorded most of our favourite songs, to be fair, but there you go. Let's jump back in the stats because we were looking at who is the best player so far for this half of the season. I love George. I've done that one. I like the way Bruno won it. It was a Brentford goal. Miggy goal against Everton. That was a great goal, that one, to be fair, wasn't it?
I'll tell you one, right? One goal. And for some strange reason, I think it is goal of the season.
Go on.
Bruno's cheeky back heel.
See, if I missed a goal here, I can't remember his cheeky back heel. Who was it against?
I believe it was Southampton.
See, that was last season.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
like I say, I mean, when he scored it, I just went mental.
Oh yeah,
I was running around the room, and then you know when you run around the room, and you're thinking, "Why am I doing this?" Do you know what I mean? Even my mum, she turned around and she goes,
What the hell's going on?
What's happening? What's happening?" And I went, "It was just a cheeky goal, man."
Oh, it was. It really
But
was.
like, I'm hoping this year, Miggy. I'm hoping Miggy gets it because the goal that he just curled into that top corner.
Yeah, it was beautiful, wasn't it?
The beautiness of doing that. I mean, sounds a bit of a daft word, but Gordon Bennett, man, was so cheeky. Just like Bruno's, you know?
It was.
Keeper stood no chance.
We're talking about this season, though. That was last season. So that doesn't count towards the half-season review of this season. So who was your best goal this season?
My best goal this season?
There's been quite a few.
Well, I was at the Crystal Palace game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll go for that one. I mean, there's been...
Palace was last season. We drew 0-0 at home.
No, the one where we beat Crystal Palace.
We haven't beat them this year, mate. We drew 0-0. Think about this season. There's only been 14 games, remember?
Oh, yes, that's right, man. It's just with the World Cup breakup, my brain's gone a bit soft. I'm searching for football to watch. And, like, you know, I'm having to watch videos of Call of Duty. It's so bonkers. Right. What about Joe Linton's?
Which one? So he's only scored one this season. That was a tap-in. Come on, you've got Miggy's goals.
Tap-in. Yeah,
you've got Miggy's goals. Remember against... Oh, they do, but you got Miggy's against Fulham, Everton. Who else have we got? He scored wonder goals against. You've got Bruno's against Brentford. You've got Shaw's against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Because I've been to. I've either took Lee or Aidan or David. That's the three nephews. Took like two of them up to St James's for the games.
Yeah.
And I've seen the goals. I've been jumping up and down like a crazy ass. And it's just what I call my mind on players at the moment is blank. It sounds really bonkers, doesn't it? It's just
it doesn't. Obviously, everyone's getting into World Cup mode, aren't they? But everyone's gone for. Most people have gone for the one he scored against Fulham. Miggy's goal against Fulham, that was the best one. There's Trippier's free kick against Man City as well. That was quite spectacular. Willock's goal against Chelsea was unbelievable as well.
I'll tell you one thing. You know the last game with Botman,
yeah,
right? Gordon Bennett, man, he was like, that ball is mine.
Yeah, he's good.
And I've never seen a player collect the ball, turn, look, and the ball's away. And 9 times out of 10, it was Trippier.
Oh, Trippier, Botman, the whole lot have been absolutely fantastic.
I mean, he's old, isn't he, Trippier? It's 31 or something.
31, 32, yeah.
So maybe he like drifts into the backroom staff. Fingers crossed.
Oh, he's got a few years left before that even happens, mate. He would go until he's 33, 34, right back.
Yeah.
Easily.
All right.
Easily. Right, back on track, because we're talking about the goal and then player of the season so far. So Miggy's one against Spurs was a good one, but it was a little different. Dribbled it into the box and scores close range at a very acute angle. The other good thing about that goal is it was the high press that really did it. Steve's gone with Willock's goal against Chelsea. Player of the season, Miggy for me. What a turnaround. He's been absolutely fantastic, hasn't he?
Well, you've just mentioned one there, the Joe Willock goal.
Yeah.
Right. I'd said because the two nephews had like taps on the shoulder, right? We're just going to the toilet. And I was just doing my thing watching. And I thought, right, best idea here is give it some time and then go to the toilet. So I'm standing at one corner of the toilet. There's a geezer standing at the other corner. Just release. And over here is raw and the stamping of the feet. And I went, you know what it is? They could have waited. You know what I mean?
No one's ever going to wait. There's Blade in his bun.
Hiya, Blade.
No,
How's it going, mate?
not too bad, mate. You?
Yeah, good, man. Knackered, like, but
Yeah.
we're doing it. We're doing it. I mean, you can make a good case for any of the starting 11. Yeah, it's a good point, to be fair. Pope's been class, but got to be Miggy. It has to be Miggy for player of the season so far. Trippier is a close second for me. Struggling to pick one player, but having to choose one, I'd say either Bruno or Sven. They make a huge difference when either playing or missing out. So true. How can the Brazilian manager say we almost got relegated? We finished 11th. You don't get relegated in January. An insult to J7, exactly. Can only summarise Joe Linton must have been having it off with the Brazilian gaffer's daughter. That was the rumours with Zaha a while back, wasn't it? Will it make best player for me so far? I say it's because the lad, for me, having worked so hard this season, and I pray he keeps that form going when season resumes. It's a good one. Trips and automatic to join the training staff on retirement. I think so as well. Evening, Paul. Hello, Paul. What was your favourite game of the season so far?
Damn.
I'll make sure it's this season and not last season.
There was goals in it. A lot of goals in it. Maybe 2 back from when we played Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
There was quite a few goals, and me and Lee were like driving the car back, and we were very, very horsey because we've been shouting that much. And we had good tickets in Lee's. But
So that was your favourite game?
well, there was loads of goals, and you know all that. This is the game. You know the one where we had 11 minutes extra time.
That's not every game, isn't it? That was a Liverpool game though, where we ended up getting
No. It was 11 minutes extra of the first half, and because I was saying to the youngins, I says, "Well, we haven't scored in the first half," and it wasn't until I checked that little scoreboard. Yeah, the Villa game. Wasn't until I checked the scoreboard that I seen that we're actually 1 up, and it broke up the what we would normally have, going to the toilet, get a drink, and then come back in. It broke all that up, and even when we went up to where the players come out with their cars, it just seemed bizarre. But like I say, we were very, very horsey because we were jumping them down like kids, man.
It's good. What about you, Blade? Your favourite game?
Man City. 3-3, I thought. So early on in the season, it's always the best time playing Man City if you're going to play them. But unlike previous seasons, we weren't relying on you want to play them at the start of the season. We actually went toe-to-toe with probably the best team in world football.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely agree. And what about your favourite goal?
It's a choice between two. It's either Shaw against Forest, first game of the season.
That was a hit.
Or Miggy's volley against Fulham.
Yes, I've gone Fulham. Definitely gone Fulham. I think it was unreal. But again, Shaw's hit was quite special as well, to be fair. This is the team of the season so far by Alan Shearer. He's gone 5 Newcastle players. 5. Paul, Trippier, Shaw, Bruno, and Miggy.
It's a bit on the small side for us to see.
Yeah, it's definitely 5. 3 Man City players, 4 Man City players in there, Haaland, De Bruyne, Cancelo. 4, 3. And then there's Tillemans and Xhaka make up the other ones with Samba. So it's basically the top 3 have all pinched all the spots. And Mikel Arteta is the manager who deserves it so far because, let's face it, they are top of the league by quite some little distance at the moment, the way things are going. I can't enlarge it. No, it's impossible to do that. It's already been loaded in. I didn't have time to put them all into my thing I normally do. I've got to even go into it. Newcastle need to be back where they were once before. So basically, St James's Park is rocking all the time. He's definitely surprised at how passionate our fans are at home and away. Obviously, away is a little bit more mental than home. But that's a great quote from Trippier, isn't it, Blade?
Yeah, Tripp's just anything out of Tripp's mouth you kind of listen to. I even thought he was commanding when he was telling his daughter she couldn't have a pizza.
That was funny. Paul, what have you made of Trippier so far this season? He's been outstanding, hasn't he?
He's a revelation. To be honest, I mean, when there was talk of him coming, I was thinking, will he? And now he's here. You know, it's like he's bossing the place. Him and Sven, they're just bossing the back line, and we've needed that. And he's got the same thing that Shelby's got, where you can look up and just smash a ball, and it'll drop straight at the player's foot. And to buy that and like have that within our squad, it's like unbelievable. It is. It's like Entertainers Part 2.
Yeah, we're getting to that level very, very soon. Blade, looking at those stats on the screen, I mean, it just shows you how instrumental Trippier has been this season for us. Yeah,
especially when you consider that those stats on the screen aren't defenders' stats. They're midfielders, strikers, makers, So he's not up against other defenders there. He's up against the likes of De Bruyne. Yeah, he's just absolute quality.
He is unreal, isn't he?
I will say this much though. He's a little on the small side for. I mean, do you know? It kind of reminds me of like David Batty. You know, like I'll get the ball and ping it across to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. But he's a lot better than David Batty. I mean, David Batty was a great defensive midfielder, to be fair. But yeah, I see what you mean. I get what you're getting at. But those stats, I mean, that's including midfielders as well, though. This is why it's so impressive. Chances created, he's third. Chances created from set plays, he's second. Crosses first. Successful crosses first. Passes into the opposition box first. Do you know what I mean? He's just absolutely unbelievable. Now,
Can I ask you a question there, Barry?
Yeah, of course you
can. Right, Trippier, yeah, well, what he does, and Shelby in a real good season. The both of them have magic in their foot on that special day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, between the two of them, if it was in a real good season, what do you think that his stats would be? Who's going to be like the winner?
It's difficult to say, isn't it? It's a tough one. Well,
it just makes you think. I mean, what Amanda and Mia Dad are doing is it's incredible. We're lucky, we're fortunate to witness it.
Oh yeah, massively. I mean, this is a second coming for us, especially for my era. You obviously are a bit older than me, so you would have seen, Keegan era and all that. So as in Keegan playing, Gaza and all that sort of stuff. I didn't. Mine was Keegan to Bobby Robson.
The funny thing is, with Kevin Keegan, that first game, I mean, all I got is the ticket, and like I say, I went in, and never did I believe at any time I would be rushed to the front, and I just reach up and I just laid me hand on his head. And I was like, yes! Do you know what I mean? Because it was a superb goal. But like I say, I mean, we're the new, like, entertainers Mark II. And, I've got me bet on top 4.
Yeah, I do.
So
it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, when it wins and I hand it to Steve Hasty, I'm going to record it for YouTube because it's going to a good cause.
It is going to a very good cause. It's a good bet. I mean, I would never have placed it at the start of the season, and hats off to you for doing it. And you just never know, it might come true. Yes, he did play for Burnley before he played for Spurs. I don't know how long he played for Burnley. Did he go to Burnley to Spurs, Blade? I think he did, didn't he?
I think so. But wasn't he in Man City's books first before Burnley?
We're soon going to find out.
And I'm sure Eddie had him at Bournemouth for a spell as well.
He did, yeah. So Man City 2009, 2012, never played a game. He then went to Burnley between 2010 2015. And then he went to Spurs 2015, 2019, Atletico Madrid 2019 to 22, and then obviously he came to Newcastle. He's actually scored more goals for us in 21 games, scoring 3 than he ever did for Spurs. I mean, he had 69 appearances and only scored 2. That's interesting. I would have thought he would have scored a few more goals than that with how he takes his free kicks. But I suppose he had Gareth Bale to try and shove off the ball, didn't he? And Eriksen. And
another good player, though, Gareth Bale. I mean, in his day when he was with Spurs, he was
fantastic.
Bit like another player from Southampton, different team on the south coast, Matt Letizia. Years ago, man. He just broke your heart years ago with these free kicks.
He did. Not just that, just how he just used to always score against us. I bet your fans don't want this World Cup now for Everton. It couldn't come quick enough. Yeah, we didn't really want it, but it's just one of those things. But again, it gives us a chance to get players back, doesn't it? Another
There's a
talking point, Blade, is the camaraderie between the players. You know, it was showed in massive abundance against Chelsea when Havertz was trying to be a prick to Dan Burn, and all the players jumped in. Everyone got involved, and they're just there for each other, and it's just amazing to see, isn't it?
It is. It's not the first time they've done it this season. That was the game where somebody went in on trips, so the next thing you see Shaw coming straight over and shoving them around. That game, what they were thinking, having a pop at Dan Burn, when Cucurella runs across and Dan Burn just turns around to him, and well, now what he said. And then the funniest one was Murphy piling in, sort of tweaking somebody's nipple and then hiding behind the hoardings. That was just like hilarious. It's like, Murphy, you're one of the smallest guys on the pitch. What are you playing at? But he was prepared to get in and have a go for his team.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely agree with it as well. Someone said it's a shame Bale found golf, but it's not a shame, really, is it? Is that the fight? It wasn't a fight, really. It was just fisticuffs, you know, pushing and shoving and screaming at each other. Dan Burn would have knocked them out if he had the chance. I love it. Let's have this one in the chat before we go, because we're getting close to the hour mark. What is the worst VAR decision you've seen against Newcastle so far this season? So get all your quotes in. Wasn't there a fight when Newcastle were at Anfield near the end? I think it mainly involved the coach and staff. Yeah, it was the way Klopp was celebrating, wasn't it, Blade?
Yeah, Tyndall had a pop at him, and wasn't it?
And Shaw threw something, didn't he?
I don't know if Shaw did, but what fitness coach, he threw a water bottle at their bench.
I'm sure Shaw did as well, and I think that we were getting worried he's going to get a ban because of it.
He probably did, but like the coaches started it. It was definitely one of our coaches took the ball.
Definitely was. I remember Shaw being on the bench because he came off, didn't he? So, yeah, fun and games. Paul, what do you make of it all? I mean, it's just nice to see the boys fighting for each other, and they're fighting for the badge, aren't they?
They've got some passion. The one at the last game, because it was the far side, I couldn't see a lot that was what was happening. Could see players bunching up, but like I thought might have been one of ours got clipped to the floor and the other ones didn't like it. And then the whistle blew. I mean, then it really kicked off, and I was like, why? Just shake hands, man. You know, the whistle's gone. Shake hands. You didn't. Their best player was Gallagher, I think it was. Young blonde kid.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, he was everywhere.
He's all right. He wasn't fantastic. He was the one who had the best chance of the game for Chelsea, where he tried to curl one in the corner. But concentrate on the camaraderie of the Newcastle players. You know, how much are you enjoying seeing them fight for each other and
it's brilliant
for the badge?
Yeah, it's totally brilliant. I mean, I just hope that like one of them doesn't like get a good jump at the sideboardings, because in case they injure themselves, you know. But like, brilliant. It's awesome to see, like, just before the kick-off where they're all crowded round, and that walk round at the end. Wow, man, that's brilliant.
It is, isn't it? Then that's got a lot of flack, Blade.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know why, because at the end of the day, if you've played your socks off on that pitch, why shouldn't you go around to the fans and clap them?
Exactly.
You know, and if other teams like you have done with the war flags, you know, all the flags flying around inside the stadium.
Yeah,
that's absolutely superb, and I don't know anywhere else apart from Liverpool with the scarves where they've done that. I really can't think of it. So that's why we're so passionate, and like that's why, you know, you get Miggy jumping overboard to like celebrate with the crowd, and it gives you such a lift. You feel about 10 foot tall when you're coming out.
Yeah, I agree. And Blade, it's not just the fact that the field's 10 foot tall. It's not the fact that it's halfway through the season. It's the players being shown their human side, isn't it? And basically rewarding the fans for sticking with them for as long as they have, and turning up week in, week out, sell out stadiums, the flags, like Paul mentioned. You know, it's why not say thank you? It's Christmas as well. They're all going away for the Christmas break. We are lucky we're going to get a Tin Pot Cup game in, which I hope to get to, and I hope we win. But you know, what is wrong with thanking the fans for paying all that hard-earned money to go and watch them play?
Absolutely nothing. I also thought when I first saw it pop up on Twitter, I just thought this is lazy journalism. Like, as Newcastle fans, we know after every game they do that. Since Eddie came in, they've done that after every game. Every win, we know they take the photo in the dressing room. These are just things we're used to now. It's Eddie building the relationship between fans, the club, the supporters again. So it is like, my overriding thought was lazy journalism. You're having a pop about something we've been doing since Eddie first arrived.
Yeah. I mean, people have started getting on the back of these photos. The women team have started doing it as well. You know, the under 23s are going to start doing it. It's mental. And and like Eddie says, he wasn't expecting these to get leaked, but they did. And he basically saying to the players, enjoy the moments when you win games, because in the Premier League, it doesn't happen often, but it is happening often, which is just crazy. So they're going to get bored of taking these photographs, but there you go. Whereabouts are we up to for the worst VAR decision? So never mess with a blind boy v Crystal Palace, disallow goal. What a joke. Palace at home, there's a definite. It wasn't a goal, it was a penalty, wasn't it? Palace, I think Palace is going to get the winner for this one. What is also shocking is the amount of handballs that have not been given to us. I hate the handball rule, because I always think ball to hand, it's not a handball. It's hand to ball is a handball, but they've changed the rules that many times. It's got stupid. Biggest disappointment of the season has been the standard of refs VAR decisions, not asking for anything other than fair, accurate, timely decisions. Well said, Leslie. Liverpool fans are not a patch of Newcastle fans. Proper tourist club, them. Real fans, Newcastle have. And you know that this is one thing we're going to have to get used to in the future, is that we will have tourist fans coming to St James's Park, because we're going to be that big, potentially. People from Saudi Arabia want to come over, from different countries are going to want to see Newcastle play. And as much as I don't really like it that much, it's got to happen, because that's how FFP grows, and that's how Man City do it as well. So I love all the pictures of them in the dressing room. Got to not upset the Mrs. Sorry Peeps. Great. Yeah, cheers, Andy. Honestly, we're going anywhere now anyway. We'll catch up tomorrow. Handball rule needs to rethink. It's confusing. It is confusing, because no one really knows what it is, to be honest with you. What's this one just came in? Hull FC Rugby League. The players sing the club anthem in the changing room after every win. It's put on Twitter. The fans love it. It's the players buying into the history of the club. There you go. Exactly. They do it in cricket as well. After every county championship game, you get they sing the club anthem, batting the bat and round in a circle and all this sort of stuff. So, just because we're starting to do it, why should it matter? I just don't understand it. Right, let's have a look at the league table, because it's just unbelievable to look at it. Paul, I know you put the bet on, but in all seriousness, did you expect us to be third at this stage of the season with the amount of points we've got? Only one loss, which is the same as Arsenal as well. I think that's just unbelievable and beyond what I expected.
Well, I'm going to go for that crazy bet. Somebody said on Twitter, 66-1 to win the title. I'm going to stick a tenner on that.
It's mental.
I know it's bonkers bet.
It is. But Paul, the question is, right now, sitting in this table, looking at it, in your all honesty, did you expect us to be third?
Well, yeah. I mean, with Eddie coming in and his marvellous team, he's got the right players to get to where we are now. And then January, we get three, I hope 3 players. And then we just keep gaining points and not like losing. I mean, that one at Liverpool, that goes down in history
Yeah.
where you got the extra minutes, and it was the same with Chelsea because like when they turn around, like when they mention on the board, 7 minutes. And I went, where's the 7 minutes come from? Like, and you could say, because they were in our half, well, the Leeds end, you could say that the referee just wanted them to keep playing until they put the ball in the back of the net, and then realised he's got to blow the whistle because it would have went 10 minutes probably. So I think the top four, what I said, yeah, I'll take that. But like I say, the other one's bit higher.
Yeah.
I think we could do it. Yeah, I mean, Arsenal's a good team.
I'm dreaming, but it's a big
Manchester City's a real good team, but the team we played against Chelsea, I think that was the C&A team because there was only like Gallagher worth anything.
Well, that's some really good players came on, and then they started to be dangerous. But I wasn't that Chelsea team was. I mean, Chelsea are 9 points behind us now, so they're not even in the running for the league. It literally is the top four.
Yeah, but
teams
23 games to go, isn't there?
But they're 16 points behind Arsenal.
Wow, that's a long way to get back.
That's why Chelsea aren't even in the running. The only teams that are in the running for me are the top four teams. Man United aren't in the running, and they're 11 points behind.
So the top four get into the Champions League.
Yep.
Then it's top 5 and 6 for the Europa, and then the conference is 7.
I think the conference is 6 and 7.
Oh, right. So
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, because there's the cup as well.
But anywhere in that, and then we are in the best position to get like that Derby or whatever.
Yes, Derby, Madison.
Yeah, we'll get them because at the end of the day, I think 3 players, we just push for it. All or nothing.
Oh, definitely. 100%. We've got a great chance. But I'm not going to get too carried away. Blade, so the question is to you as well. In your all honesty, did you believe we could be third in the Premier League at this stage of the season with the amount of points we've got and thinking about the games we've had to play as well?
I'm glad you repeated the question, to be honest, because I wasn't sure where Paul was going with that. No, I mean, everybody in the chat, you guys, you all know I'm like the optimistic one, giving out like 5-1 results, 4-1s. In all honesty, no, I didn't expect third. Not so quick. Start of the season, I tipped to finish 5th, i.e. best of the rest kind of thing, or first runner-up, if you like. So no, I didn't expect it, but happy we're there. Does it push the project on a bit quicker than the owners would have liked? Probably.
Yeah.
Does it give them a choice of answering the tough questions? Do they back one now, or do they stick with their plan? Possibly again. But it's a nice position to be in, and it's a nice dilemma to give the owners.
Yeah, I agree. Now, I didn't expect third. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I said anything between top 10 and top 7 was my prediction. So to be where we are right now and within a slim chance of winning the Premier League is just absolutely insane. It really is. Especially the teams we've come up against, because we've gone to Old Trafford, we've got a draw. We've been to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and won. We've beat Chelsea at home. We've got a point against Man City at home. It's incredible, and no one really saw those results. Everyone, I mean, there was tickets spare for the Man City game at one point because people were like, "Oh, we're just going to get hammered off Man City, so we won't bother going." But it's mental. It's mental. And there's quite a lot of comments coming, so we'll fly through them and then we'll say good night to everyone. It's 80-1 for us to win the league. That's mental.
80-1.
My concern is tourist fans with Cockney accents. Oh God, yeah, we don't want to hear that. But again, there's Cockney fans who might have moved down there, picked up the accent, and there might be Geordies. You can't say things like that, I suppose. Still can't see Newcastle fans with their phones out instead of celebrating a goal. It's one thing having a worldwide fan base and others acting like that lot. Yeah, I agree. I very rarely get my phone out at the match. I take some pictures when I can, but I like to enjoy the game. Goes without saying, Howe is the best English manager in the league. I would say that. The Chelsea handball was a definite penalty. It was the choice of the defender to go to ground and it significantly changed the angle of the ball when it hit his arm. It's one of those ones, isn't it? Ball to hand, hand to ball. He didn't really put his hand out there to start. Yeah, give out. I know lots of people don't own a mobile and never will. Just another piece of kit to be hacked. I love it. What about Lampard? Oh God, let's not get him. Let's not wind up Stephen. Stephen's a lovely lad. How is so calm no matter what is thrown at him? He never likely go and have a rant or lose it in the press conference. It's so true. Yorkie's a fine lad. They drink proper beer. Apparently they do, but I'm from Newcastle. I just moved to Yorkshire. Stephen, no, I don't know what I missed there. Just don't like fair weather friends. Ooh. Andrew Turnbull, I like Yorkies too. Lovely chocolate bars, they're not for girls. Oh God, you remember that slogan? That was a long time ago. A fan is a fan when it comes down to it, regardless of where you're born, colour, creed. Just happy to piss off Jürgen. Love it. You're one classy lad to Kevin. 20 for 1 for the title on William Hill, 5-4 for top 4. Yes, I work in the Kit Kat plant, but they make Yorkies right next to where I help make the raisin and biscuit ones as well. Newcastle back where they should be. It's the mid-90s and the early 2000s again. I predicted Newcastle will finish 7th. I think I would be pushing for a place in Europe. Still think you will fall away slightly, but still have a great season. Again, it's all up. It all depends on January. Our Yorkshire puds, they're lovely too. There was a lovely place that do Yorkshire pudding wraps. Though we're doing great in the league and ahead of plan, our intention was there to be ground gradually and line the building, the infrastructures, training facilities don't match our league position. That's all changing though. The training facilities are being worked on. The ground's going to get a revamp. Apparently the plans look amazing, and it's going to get built on a little bit as well. Yorkshire Pudge beef, a bit of gravy and mash. You're talking my language. I love it. Forgive my typos tonight. Only got one eye open due to a tooth. Ooh, it's nothing worse than having a toothache or an abscess or anything in your mouth. I hate it. King Square Bars, Yorkie wraps. Yes. Well done, Mark. Good spot. Right, that's the hour done. We've cleared a few things up. It's been an unbelievable halfway through the season. Our next show, I think I'm going to do a live watch along on Monday for the England game, and we can all laugh together at how poor Gareth Southgate is. So consider tuning into that. I'm not going to do any look aheads or reviews of the England games and stuff like that because it's the World Cup. And let's have a bit of a break, but we're going to do lots of stuff about Newcastle. We're going to look at future stars. We're going to have a look back on other stuff as well. People have given me some ideas, so just keep an eye on the channel. We'll put the shows in when we can, and make sure you hit the thumbs up, the subscribe button, and the bell button to let you know when we're live. And check out Paul's channel as well. He's trying to do some great stuff on there, and he's trying to earn some money for charity as well, which is unbelievable, which is what we try to do as well. Pork chops are disgusting. Great show again, gents. Take care, stay safe. Thank you, Andrew. Thanks, Paul, for popping on when you did. And you, Blade, as well. And we'll see you on Monday, hopefully, for the watch along. Take care till then.